All right, hello everybody. I am First Alert Meteorologist Rodney Harris. Hope you were off to a good start to your week. Long time no see on Facebook and our social media channels. We are watching a couple of things happening this week. First of all, the cold that you no doubt feel when you step out the door here, or when you stepped outdoors this morning. It's super cold, which is crazy because this time last week temperatures were in the 80s. A lot of us starting in the low 30s, near freezing. We had a freeze warning earlier this morning. That has since expired, but it's definitely going to stay cold for the rest of the week. We also have a first alert because we will get some rain in here in addition to the cold on Tuesday. So let's walk you through all of that. Going to get you started with your hour-by-hour forecast basically for the rest of the day. I do want to point out that unlike the past several weeks, not only is it cold in the morning, but it will stay cold the entire day. So we're getting into that pattern where you essentially need the coat, you need the jacket the entire day. At lunchtime, it's only 49 degrees in the city of Atlanta. This afternoon, it's up to 54 degrees. The normal high for this time of year is 65, so temperatures are about 10 degrees below average today. So again, not only do you need the coat, the jacket this morning, but you're going to need that throughout the afternoon as well. By the way, while I am showing you your hour-by-hour temperatures, I am also just sort of logging on to all of our Atlanta News First streaming channels to make sure I can answer your questions. If you have any questions about this week or next week, don't hesitate to ask. I'll try to get those answered for you. But that's pretty much the story. Just cold with the rain tomorrow. Michael Baxter, how's it going, buddy? Thank you for joining the Facebook Live. We always appreciate you. Cindy, how are you doing? Again, don't hesitate to ask any questions, even though the forecast is pretty straightforward here over the next 7 days. So here's a look at tomorrow. I want to get to tomorrow because today it'll be dry, even though it'll be cold. But starting tomorrow, we're going to add rain to the forecast, which is one of the reasons why it's a first alert. So scattered rain, scattered light rain is expected as you start your morning commute, even for those of you who get started before 7 o'clock in the morning. This is 4 o'clock in the morning, and we're already seeing some scattered showers. It's going to continue throughout Tuesday morning, so grab the coat and the umbrella as you get out the door on Tuesday. Lunchtime still looks like we're seeing scattered rain, and then as we get into the evening, a few showers will still be possible Tuesday as you are driving home from work, but the coverage won't be as high Tuesday evening compared to Tuesday morning. So just a few showers Tuesday evening, but the first alert is really for Tuesday morning and early Tuesday afternoon, where that rain will be a little bit more widespread. And then notice by Tuesday night, we actually dry out. So we'll keep the clouds around, but it'll be drier Tuesday night. So if you have to do anything outdoors other than going to work, the better time to do that will be Tuesday night, because it looks like we'll definitely see scattered rain throughout the course of the day and the early part of the afternoon at least. I will say there's no severe weather expected, which is certainly good news, but we will see quite a bit of rain throughout the course of the day. So here's your timeline. 9 o'clock in the morning, lunchtime, 3 o'clock, we're seeing rain. Those are all first alerts because that rain will be more widespread. And then at 5 o'clock, we have showers. Notice I don't have a first alert for 5 because I don't think the showers will be very heavy. And then by 9 p.m. we will be dry. We need the rain. We're in a drought right now in Metro Atlanta, so it's not going to be much, about half an inch to an inch, really mostly half an inch for a good chunk of Metro Atlanta tomorrow. So hopefully that'll do something with our drought, but honestly I don't think half an inch is going to do it, so we're likely going to stay in a drought. But any little rain that we can get we'll certainly take. So I want to now go into next week. Before I do that, let me see if there's any questions. Kamisha, thank you for joining the Facebook Live. Again, if you have any questions about this week or next week, don't hesitate to ask, and I'll try to get that answered for you. So this week, the only first alert we have is for Tuesday for that rain. Then next week, what I'm trying to do is find some warmer temperatures for you. And it doesn't really look like we're going to see that. This is our we call this our 850 chart. So this is a look at our temperatures over the next 2 weeks. This isn't necessarily at the surface, though. This is a little bit higher up in the sky. It allows us to be able to see the pattern of when things get warm and when things get cold. This is one of the ways we actually make your 7-day forecast. What I want to point out is the blue that you see that's going all the way down to like Texas. It's coming all the way down to North Georgia. This is today. As I put this into motion, notice that blue doesn't really go away. The colors change a little bit, but we're basically in the blue to purple pattern, which means it's going to stay cold for the rest of this week. Then as we go into next week, pretty much the same story. So when we're making your 7-day, there are 2 models that we typically use to look at kind of forecasts further out. One is our European model and one is our American model, and we talk about this all the time whenever we're comparing our models. Our European model is keeping us cold all next week. So not only this week, but basically through Thanksgiving. So for the next 2 weeks, as you can see, those colors really don't change. That's not good. But I do want to point out that the American model at this point, and I did this during the news today. I'm going to try this again. I'm going to go to the European first. So now we're taking you back to the week of Thanksgiving. Here is the European showing it staying colder. Now I'm going to bring up the American. Notice the difference in those colors. When I switch to the American model, you start to see more green and even a little bit of yellow pop up there in the south. So our American model, the GFS, is actually trying to show some 60s getting back in here next Wednesday and going into Thanksgiving. If that were to happen, we believe it would be from Atlanta southwestward, but that's really the only little bit of hope that we have in terms of warmer temperatures over the next 2 weeks, is what may be a little bit of a warm surge south and west of Atlanta. I want to also point out that this same model, the GFS that's warming us up, is also producing a more robust storm system west of us. So if you're traveling next week, it's possible that we could see some rain as you go west. Again, our Euro model is not showing that, but the GFS is. So just a little behind the scenes on our forecast process for next week, and we'll keep you up to date on exactly what will happen, but that's what we're looking at this point. So again, if it's the Euro model, it's going to stay cold basically through Thanksgiving. If it's the American model, some of us will see some warmer temperatures as we head toward Wednesday and Thursday next week. So let's cross our fingers and hope that the American model is right. This is outside of your 7-day forecast, by the way, but these are the things that we look at when we're making your forecast for next week. Krista wants to know if it's going to be a white Thanksgiving for Northwest Georgia. No, it will not. Unfortunately, we're not having to worry about snow. I do want to say, though, Krista, I hope I'm saying your name right. I want to go back in time here and take you to our forecast map. We actually got dangerously close to wintry precip this week. As you know, it was freezing this morning, and we're only in the 50s this afternoon, so that rain is moving in tomorrow morning. So had that rain moved in today, it would have mixed with those colder temperatures to perhaps produce a little winter weather up in the mountains. That didn't happen, and we don't think we'll see any winter weather tomorrow, but we were pretty close to potentially some winter weather tomorrow, but it's not going to shake out that way, and you do not have to worry about any winter weather for Northwest Georgia. Krista, but thank you for that question. Let's see here. Anybody else have any questions? It looks like we're in really good shape, and we are on multiple social media channels, so I'm checking mine in addition to the Atlanta News First channel to make sure that everybody's good to go. Again, hope everybody's having a great Monday. It's cold, but it's supposed to be cold. We were in the 80s, record heat this time yesterday, and here we are starting in the 30s, and this isn't like it. In addition to the 30s, I'm going to see if this graphic is in here. We're actually going to drop into the 20s before the week is over, so just bundle up because it's going to stay cold. So here we go. That is my forecast map. The 7-day may not be in here. We're working on your 7-day as we speak. That's just your hour by hour forecast. Here we go. So notice how we're at 54 today. On Friday, we dropped down to 28 degrees in Atlanta. That means a lot of you are going to drop into the low to mid 20s on Friday morning. So that's definitely going to be the coldest of the next 7 days. So that's our story. Cold for the next 7 days. The only first alert is for Tuesday because of the rain that will be with us throughout much of the day. Outside of that, it's just going to feel like November. So we're all here. We're going to keep you up to date on what happens next week. It's kind of a toss-up. Next week isn't really in our 7-day forecast yet, so we don't have to address it on television as much. But there is the potential, at least, for maybe a little bit of a warm-up as you go south and west of Atlanta. We'll keep you up to date on the rain tomorrow. Remember to grab that umbrella in addition to the coat before you get out the door for work. And we'll keep you up to date on that here on Facebook, on YouTube, on all of our streaming channels in addition to Atlanta News First. I'm working on your 7-day for the noon newscast, which is about an hour and 15 minutes away. So hope everybody has a great Monday. Until next time, we'll see you soon.